I'll give an example of our work in Nigeria. It's a country where we really started implementing CLTS for the first time in the region. So it's got the longest history of CLTS in the region, in the West African region. And for a while, we really went on promoting, using CLTS to promote access to sanitation. It did work, I must say. But over time, we realized that a number of communities were becoming difficult communities. There was so much triggering, very few open defecation free, and even when there was open defecation free, it was difficult to sustain that behavior. So we, through a very careful process of formative research, we tried to understand what were the issues. And we did this formative research, and gratefully we had some program, well-funded program, and we used the opportunity to try to understand why communities were, first of all, not becoming open defecation free, even after being triggered and agreeing to become open defecation free. Secondly, even for communities that were open defecation free, why were they not maintaining it? That status. Why were other people still within the same community still going back to the practice of open defecation? So we did a formative research, and that gave us the findings were huge insights for us to understand and program around what would actually drive the behavior change required in terms of having and using a decent toilet. And I'll just talk about one of the very important insights that emerged for us. It was that people felt the kind of toilets they were realizing or building from the process of CLTS were not matching. People felt they were not dignifying enough. They felt ashamed of it to show to their neighbors. They felt they would rather continue to defecate in the open, which in their opinion was cleaner than using the kind of toilets that they were building with locally available materials. And even when people had resources to be able to build toilets, another key insight for us was that the process of finding someone who would build you a decent toilet was cumbersome. It was a maze. You have to find who did the pitch, you have to find where you buy the material for the substructure, for the superstructure. They were all in different places, and it was difficult to navigate. So these were some of the insights, and from those insights we built on that in terms of changing and making the pathway clear to integrate a market system that brought all of this, brought all of the opportunities for building the toilet to one place. Make that pathway very simple. We created a market that made it easy for people to easily reach the products that they wanted, the products that were aspirational for them, the product that changed their status, the product that made them, proud that they owned and used the toilet, and made them feel gentrified and all of that. So we factored all of that into designing a program that, first of all, works at addressing the behavior of open defecation, worked at changing the social norm, creating the social structure around it that helped people to see that changing your behavior around open defecation was also an element of gentrification and moving up on the, let me say, the pride ladder, and at the same time made it very simple for communities to be able to, or households to be able to have access to all the composite materials required to have a decent toilet almost in one place. Like one-stop shops came up, and so the results have been fantastic. They are very early days, but we're quite optimistic that this would catch up with everybody, and that's because of actually taking time to do the formative research, to understand the people, and then to apply the results of the findings in context, and that's very important. I cannot overemphasize the need for understanding the science behind behavior change.